Chosen one, your time has come. Today and tomorrow might just be the most important days of this year. And now your season begins. If you've been wondering why you've struggled in the last few days, there is a reason for it. Every single chosen one alive right now has a mission that's been sealed away. This isn't just about one little breakthrough or one person finding their calling. So you're going to want to listen really closely, because what you hear today could change the rest of your life. The doorway. This is probably the tightest doorway you'll ever have to walk through. October 3rd and 4th aren't just dates on a calendar. No, this is the real hinge of the year. It's that quarter turn that decides how the rest of 2025 is going to play out for you. Forget about January 1st. Forget about New Year's Eve. This right here is the quiet turning point where everything starts to speed up. For people like us, for the chosen ones, these 24 hours are like being on a stage. Every little choice, every move you make, every word you say, it's all turned way up. It's like the universe has a giant spotlight aimed right at you. And whatever you do in this tiny window of time is going to echo through the last few months of the year. The comeback. You know, the greatest comebacks are always born in the darkest hours. Right now, so many of us are feeling the weight of everything just pressing down all at once. Setbacks are piling up. Opportunities feel like they're slipping right through your fingers, and there's this heaviness that feels almost impossible to bear. But that's the sign. Doesn't that make sense? That's the proof that you're right on the edge of something big. Every major shift we go through starts with some kind of resistance. Think about it. Right before the sun comes up, the night it is at its absolute coldest. Before a seed can burst through the ground, it has to fight against all that soil pressing down on it. This tension, this pressure you're feeling right now, it's not here to punish you. It's the final test before everything opens up. So if life feels like it's trying to break you, it's really just breaking the shell that's been holding you back. October isn't here to drag you down. It's here to pull you through. And when you get to the other side of this, you won't just rise. You'll never go back to being the person you were before. The deeper the struggle, the bigger the shift. The crossroads. October 3rd and 4th aren't just dates. They're crossroads. And here's the thing about crossroads. They don't announce themselves with fireworks. They hide in the small, ordinary moments. A random conversation with a stranger. A message that just appears out of nowhere. An opportunity that looks way too small to even matter. But these little moments, these are the cracks where destiny slips through. Over the next few hours, you have to pay attention to the things that seem random. Because nothing is random right now. Every word, every person you meet, every decision you make carries so much weight. And for chosen ones, this is the window where the hidden doors just swing wide open. What most people miss is that the universe almost never sends miracles that actually look like miracles. It sends them disguised as tests, as invitations, as choices that you could easily just ignore. And that's exactly why so many people never hit their turning point. They're waiting for lightning to strike, while the real change is just a whisper right at their feet. Destiny never shouts, you know. It just knocks quietly, and only the people who are awake will hear it. The threshold is already here. The only question is, when that opportunity shows up, are you going to recognize it? Or are you just going to let it pass you by? Your focus creates your reality. You know, reality has a funny way of bending toward wherever your attention is resting. What's happening right now isn't about luck, and it's not a coincidence. It's what they call the observer effect, but turned up to the max. It's the way your awareness is literally shaping what becomes real for you. This is why some people suddenly see all these doors opening, all these weird synchronicities stacking up, and paths just clearing for them, while other people feel absolutely nothing. The universe is responding to what you're actually watching. Every glance, every thought you let yourself linger on, it's like you're planting a seed. Most people just drift through life without thinking about it and then wonder why everything feels so random. But for chosen ones, this moment, October 3rd and 4th, is all about locking your eyes on what you want more of. When you consciously focus on the possibility of a better future, you're not just daydreaming, you're actually pulling it closer to you. Scientists call it quantum tunneling. Mystics call it alignment. They're just different words for the same reality. You're slipping through walls that you thought were solid. And you felt this before, even if you didn't realize it. Think about those times something you imagined or feared just suddenly showed up in your life. This is the exact same thing, but right now, it's supercharged. Every chosen one is in a spot where their attention is like a magnifying glass in the sun. If you focus it, you can burn your reality into the shape you want. If you scatter it, nothing ever takes form. Your observation is your permission slip to reality. This is why these 2 days are so powerful. The collective focus of thousands of awakened minds is creating this massive pressure wave in reality itself. Where your attention goes now is going to echo for months. So watch carefully, because what you look at is what you're going to end up living. When things fall apart, sometimes something you thought was unstoppable just suddenly hits a brick wall. It's the part nobody really wants to talk about. Right in the middle of building all this momentum, it can feel like everything you've been working on just falls apart. During these 2 days, that can happen. For some of you, a job, a plan, a relationship, or even just your sense of direction might feel like it shatters overnight. And it feels totally unfair, right? Like the rug is being pulled right out from under you. But this isn't chaos. It's a test. Think of it like a controlled demolition. The universe is just clearing out the weak foundation so you don't build something huge on ground that can't actually hold it. What collapses right now wasn't meant to last, at least not the way it was. It's making room for something stronger, something that's truly aligned with who you're becoming. Most people panic at this stage and just retreat. They see the collapse as a failure instead of what it really is, a forced course correction. But for chosen ones, this is the lock-in season. This is where you get refined under pressure. When something you thought was secure just dissolves, that's when your real power gets to show up. Collapse isn't the end. It's just the tightening of the spring right before the big leap. So if your world suddenly shifts during these 2 days, you have to understand this. It's not a punishment. It's positioning. What breaks right now is just showing you what can't come with you to the next level. Stand your ground. Stay in your mission. And just watch as what looked like a loss becomes the very opening you've been waiting for. Unlocking your hidden gifts. These 2 days are not just days on a calendar. They are a key turning in a lock that's been sealed for years. Right now, something that's been hidden inside of you is starting to stir. For some of you, it's going to feel like this sudden burst of clarity. For others, it might feel more like a pressure, like something is trying to break through from the inside out. October 3rd and 4th act like a cosmic combination lock. And whether you know it or not, the code has just been entered. That bolt is sliding open. Most of us live with our deepest talents buried under routine, doubt, and fear. You've had instincts that you didn't trust, right? You've had these creative sparks that you just ignored because life was too busy. You've had those moments of just knowing, these sudden flashes of insight that you just wrote off as a coincidence. But these 2 days are forcing what's been hidden to come out into the open, like a seed finally cracking. What's been dormant inside you just can't stay buried any longer. Creativity that's been stuck starts to flow again. Intuition that used to be a faint whisper now starts speaking loud and clear. Talents you didn't even know you had are starting to bubble up to the surface. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about finally remembering who you've always been, but couldn't get to. The seal is breaking because this season, right now, demands your full power, not your half-hidden self. Dormant gifts aren't lost. They're just waiting for the right moment to show up. So pay attention to the weird ideas that are popping into your head. Notice the sudden urges you get to create something, to write, to speak, to build, or even just to reach out to someone. Don't just dismiss them. This is how your dormant gifts first appear. They don't come as thunderbolts. They show up as these small, persistent nudges. The difference now is the energy behind them. What used to be a whisper is going to feel like a surge. And you have to get this. These gifts aren't random. They're not just hobbies or side talents. They are the tools you were always meant to carry into your mission. They've been timed for this exact moment because the stage you're about to step onto requires every single ounce of what you've been hiding. What you unlock now will not fade away again. Once a door like this opens, it doesn't close. The lock has been turned. The seal is broken. These days aren't about waiting for a sign. They are the sign. Everything you've been waiting to access is now within your reach. But it's up to you to actually pick it up and walk forward with it. The weight of the crown. Every blessing comes with a weight, and every crown comes with a cost. The lock-in of October 3rd and 4th isn't just about getting cool new gifts or a burst of creativity. It's also the moment that the mantle of responsibility is placed right on the shoulders of the chosen. These 2 days don't just mark the beginning of your breakthrough. They mark the moment your life stops being only about you. Think about a mantle. It's not just a piece of decoration. It's not jewelry or some trinket you wear to show off. A mantle is heavy. It drapes over your shoulders, and it makes every single step you take more deliberate, more conscious, more accountable. The universe isn't just handing you power for your own entertainment. It's entrusting you with influence, with reach, with the ability to shape the future, not just of your own life, but of everyone connected to you. You're no longer just walking for yourself. You're walking as a reference point for other people. From this point on, people will be watching you, even if they don't say it out loud. Your choices will create ripples in your family. Your voice will echo through your community. Your courage is going to inspire others to rise up. And your hesitation, well, that will just remind them that it's okay to stay small. That's the weight of this mantle. Your life becomes the pattern that other people will start to measure themselves against. This is why these 2 days feel so charged, you know. It's not just the excitement of your own turning point. It's the recognition that what you do with it matters for more than just you. Some of you will feel this responsibility like a pressure in your chest, as if something is urging you to take yourself more seriously. That's not anxiety. That is the mantle. That's the energy of being trusted with something bigger than your own desires. And here's the paradox. The mantle is both a burden and a gift. It can feel heavy, but it also gives you authority. It might make you more careful, but it also makes you powerful. The universe only gives this kind of weight to those who can actually bear it. If you're feeling it now, it's because you're ready. Responsibility is proof of trust. The universe doesn't crown people who are unprepared. This mantle isn't just for you. It's for generations. Children who aren't even born yet will walk easier paths because of the choices you're making in these very days. Communities will rise on the foundations you're laying right now. The chosen ones of this moment are the architects of what's coming next, and history will quietly bend in the direction of your steps. The blessing is real. The weight is real. And the moment to carry it starts right now. The humility test. Your ego doesn't get to walk into the future with you. During these 48 hours, almost every single one of us will have at least one of those embarrassing little slip-ups. And I don't mean something huge like your whole life collapsing. I mean those small but super inconvenient stumbles, like tripping on the sidewalk when you know someone's watching, blurting out a sentence that comes out completely wrong, misplacing something important right when you need it, or even just having your body do something ridiculous. It's so easy to just write those moments off as accidents, but they're not. They're the universe's way of popping the ego balloon right before it gets too big. I mean, think about it. If you're being locked into your mission, gifted with new creativity, and crowned with responsibility, your ego is the one thing that just can't come along for the ride. So the universe forces you to be humble, not with some big disaster, but with something so silly it makes you stop and just laugh at yourself. Embarrassment is the universe's gentle way of reminding you that you're still human. Now, here's the deeper truth. How you respond in that moment decides a lot more than you think. If you get all flustered or spiral into shame or start criticizing yourself, you're just reinforcing those old cycles of insecurity. But if you laugh, if you just shrug it off, if you show a little grace under pressure, something really shifts. You step out of the vibration of your ego and you align with the vibration of flow. And in that alignment, strange things start happening. Synchronicities appear, conversations open up, doors unlock, and unexpected opportunities just land in your lap. This is why so many ancient traditions have these rituals of humbling yourself before an initiation. Because without humility, power just corrupts. And without humility, that mantle of responsibility becomes impossible to bear. What's happening to you over these 2 days isn't just random clumsiness. It's an initiation by embarrassment. You don't attract luck by being perfect. You attract it by being real. The irony is kind of beautiful, isn't it? The very thing that feels like the universe is trying to make you look foolish is actually the setup for blessings to come your way. The crack in your composure is what lets the light in. The stumble is what resets your balance. The awkward word is what reminds you that power doesn't require perfection. So when it happens, and for most of you, it will happen at least once in these 48 hours, don't fight it. Don't curse it. Just smile at it, laugh with it, and own it. Because the chosen ones who handle their slip-ups with grace are the ones who are going to notice in the days to come that life starts moving in their favor with a speed that almost feels unfair. Humility is the invisible magnet that pulls your destiny closer. And the doorway you're walking through right now won't let you pass unless you carry that magnet with you. The judgment test. Life has a way of testing whether you really believe in freedom or if you only believe in it for yourself. Over the next 2 days, many of us are going to feel this strange, almost uncomfortable pull, this urge to do something we usually roll our eyes at, criticize, or secretly judge other people for doing. And at first, it's going to be confusing. Why would your spirit suddenly nudge you towards something you've spent years dismissing? Why would the universe tempt you with the very thing you've been so loud about avoiding? Because this isn't about the act itself. It's about the judgment you've wrapped all around it. Your spirit is showing you that sometimes the thing you laugh at, criticize, or condemn isn't actually wrong. It's just something you didn't understand before. And judgment. That's the invisible chain that keeps you from your own freedom. Let's get practical here. Maybe you've always made fun of people who dance in public, and suddenly you get this urge to just move your body without caring who's watching. Maybe you've criticized people who take a lot of selfies, and all of a sudden you want to capture a picture of yourself in a way you never have before. Maybe you've dismissed spiritual practices like chanting, journaling, or wearing certain colors, and yet, in these days, you feel this sudden curiosity to just try it. This isn't hypocrisy. It's expansion. It's the universe checking to see if you're still living in the prison of your old judgments, or if you're finally ready to see beyond them. Because the truth is, the things you condemn in other people often show you the exact places where you are not free. And here's the secret most people miss. The moment you stop judging other people, you stop being secretly at war with yourself. This is why this window of October 3rd to 4th is so intense. The generational lock-in, the turning of the hinge, the thinning of the veil, all of it is forcing us into our truest alignment. And that means your ego is going to get tested in the most personal ways. You'll be pushed into situations that make you uncomfortable, not because they're bad, but because they challenge the image you've built of yourself. The test is simple. When that urge comes, when that strange desire rises up, are you going to shame yourself back into your old box? Or are you going to let yourself taste the freedom of expansion? Even if it looks nothing like what you thought your spiritual path was supposed to be. Growth is never dignified. It's messy, it's awkward, and sometimes it makes you eat your own words. If you can accept this, you'll notice something powerful. The moment you stop fighting the thing you once judged, a weight just lifts off you. You suddenly understand people more deeply. Compassion takes the place of criticism. Freedom takes the place of needing to control how other people live their lives. And in that release, your spirit becomes more magnetic, more powerful, and more unshakable. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about reclaiming the parts of yourself that you've buried under all that armor of judgment. These 48 hours are about to show you how open-minded, how free, and how authentic you truly are. And the ones who pass this test will walk out of it lighter, freer, and more aligned than ever before. Judgment just collapses under the weight of true freedom. And right now, freedom is demanding the stage. The test of silence. The greatest shifts arrive so quietly that only the people who are really awake can hear them. Here's the final test of October 3rd and 4th. It isn't the pull to act. It isn't the weird synchronicities. And it isn't even the doors of opportunity cracking open. It's this, the silence that comes after. So many people are going to wake up on October 5th and just shrug. They'll say, well, nothing happened. They'll scroll on their phones, eat breakfast, go to work, and convince themselves that the past 2 days were totally ordinary. But for chosen ones, that's exactly the point. This was never about fireworks in the sky or some big cosmic announcement. This was about what was being rearranged underneath the surface, in the actual blueprint of your life. The unseen world always reshapes the seen world before the seen world can even catch up. Think about planting a seed. The most important day in that seed's life isn't the day it finally breaks through the soil. It's the day it gets buried, quiet, unseen, and hidden. That's the energy of these 2 days. It's the burial of your old patterns, the planting of new timelines, the silent signing of contracts you didn't even know you were agreeing to. The soil looks perfectly still, but everything underneath it is alive and buzzing. And that's why so many people will miss it. We've all been trained to only recognize change when it's loud, dramatic, and impossible to deny. But the power of October 3rd and 4th is subtle. It's a quiet explosion, a shifting of gears, a click inside the machinery of your destiny. If you're not tuned in, you're not going to hear it. If you're not paying attention, you'll just assume nothing happened. And by doing that, you walk right past the door that was opening just for you. The loudest doorway in the universe is the one that opens in total silence. This is the real separation. It's not between chosen and unchosen as some kind of title. It's between those of us who are awake enough to sense when the invisible world shifts and those who are still waiting for a headline to tell them it's real. Right now, you're either standing at that open door or you're walking right past it without even realizing it was there. And this is why humility, presence, and awareness matter so much. It's why the small decisions you make over these 2 days, what you say yes to, what you turn away from, what you pay attention to, are going to echo long after October 5th. In a way, these 48 hours are like a cosmic audit. You're being watched, not by some judge in the sky, but by your own future self, who is waiting to see if you'll step into alignment or just drift away from it. Just because nothing is happening on the surface doesn't mean nothing is happening at all. It's the moment before the wave hits the shore. It's the deep breath before the shout. It's the pause before the arrow is released. This is how the universe works. By the time everyone else notices the change, it's already too late to grab hold of that energy. So don't let the silence trick you. Don't let the lack of a dramatic sign convince you that these days were meaningless. If you felt the tension, the strange urges, the small shifts in your reality, the subtle pulling of threads, that was the event. The lock-in already happened. The doorway already clicked. And as the days go on, what was hidden will start to reveal itself in ways that look ordinary, but are anything but. The chosen don't wait for proof. They move because they can feel the shift. October 3rd and 4th weren't empty moments. They were a turning point disguised as a normal day. And only the ones who stayed awake long enough to sense it will be able to walk into what comes next. The generational lock-in. So October 3rd and 4th are not just a couple of days on a calendar. They are the hinge for an entire generation. This is where everything we've been talking about really comes to a head. The subtle shifts, the strange urges, the quiet explosions in the unseen, all of it was pointing right here, to the generational lock-in. These 2 days are not just about your personal struggles, or your personal growth, or even your personal breakthroughs. They are about all of us, about the collective, about raising the ceiling for an entire era. Think about it. Chosen ones don't exist in a vacuum. Your choices ripple out. Your presence shifts the air in every single room you walk into, and your decisions change the paths of people who don't even know they're being touched by you. When a chosen one locks into their destiny, an entire community silently starts to shift direction. That's the real weight of this moment. You're not just aligning yourself. You're aligning the generations that are going to come after you. The energy of October 3rd and 4th carries something rare with it: permanence. The kinds of moves you made, the thoughts you had, and the commitments you made during these hours, they are not just fleeting. They settle in deep, like foundations. This is why it feels heavier than usual, why the stakes seem so much higher, and why you might even feel like you're being watched or measured. Because you are. The universe is watching how you move. Not to punish you, but to mark who is ready to hold the torch for the era that's coming next. And here's the beautiful part. This isn't just about surviving or even thriving in your own lifetime. It's about legacy. What you lock in right now sets a vibration that will outlive you. Families will be stronger because of the energy you stabilized in these hours. Communities will find hope because of the stand you took when no one else even saw what was going on. Future generations are going to inherit a world that's a little less heavy, a little less blind, all because you chose to carry the mantle in your time. Generational change never starts in parliaments or palaces, does it? It begins in the silence of a soul that finally says, yes. If you've ever doubted how much you matter, this is the time to let go of that lie. You were never small. You were never just a background character. You were always part of this bigger picture. And these 2 days just pulled that truth right up to the surface. The lock-in isn't glamorous. It doesn't hand you instant fame or recognition or some big reward. But it does crown you with responsibility, with a seal that says, this one is ready to carry what others cannot. And the most powerful part, you might not even feel it fully yet. You might still wake up tomorrow thinking you're the exact same person, but deep down, something has shifted. A door has closed behind you. There is no going back now. You are locked in. Not just for yourself, but for the countless souls who are tied to your lineage. For the strangers you'll never meet, but will still impact. And even for the children not yet born who will inherit the frequencies you anchored in this moment. October 3rd and 4th may one day be remembered, not for what the world saw, but for what the chosen ones quietly became. This is the dawn of a new era, and you, right now, are standing at the very front of it. The question isn't whether the lock-in happened. The only question is this: how will you carry it forward? If you're still here watching, I just want to say thank you for your attention. If you got something out of this and want to see more, please think about hitting that subscribe button. Your support is really appreciated. And feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more.